Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with another Bethesda News Roundup video where I break down the most recent Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation. It is morning times. I have to record today's video there's a hair in my mouth. I'm tired. I look like crap. I have to record today's video a little earlier because I have a lot of stuff going down on that IRL server, so my energy levels may be low. I probably only have like 2 out of 10 charisma today. However, even though it's towards the end of the week and the news is kinda slow, I still managed to scavenge up a few interesting things to talk about in today's video. But let's not waste any more time and get to today's information. Now, first of all, I hope you all are having a happy Nick Valentine's Day, and you and Nick Valentine can spend as much time together today as you would like. I highly suggest you do so because Nick Valentine is a busy person and you shouldn't take up too much of his time. So hopefully you all are having a good Nick Valentine's Day. And the next thing I want to talk about, in case you haven't heard, is E3 2021 is not canceled this year, except it is going to be all digital. They haven't ruled out yet the possibility of there being a live audience to this event though, if the COVID situation settles down a bit. But either way, it's going to be all digital like anyone could have expected if E3 was even going to happen. However, we know it's going to happen now, and apparently it's going to be different than any other E3 before somehow. They haven't really given us any more details as to how this is going to be different. This could just be some kind of like marketing ploy, but I mean, I guess the fact that it's all digital is kind of different. Maybe they're just trying to spin this negative all digital thing into a positive, but I mean, it being all digital isn't necessarily a negative. I just hope it doesn't stay all digital forever, because I only ever got to attend one E3 in my lifetime, and I'd love to go again, because I mean, I only got to do so much my first time. There's a lot going on at E3 and at the surrounding events as well, and I would like to attend more than I was able to before. But either way, it's going to be all digital this year, like anyone could have expected. I guarantee Bethesda's event will be all digital, and as of right now, we really don't know who all is going to be attending E3. I don't believe any of the big companies like Xbox or Sony have actually said if they're going to be doing a digital E3 showcase this year, but there are rumors based on some supposed leaks that Nintendo is planning to do something. But either way, let's move on to the next thing that I want to talk about in today's video. Deathloop got like a short 30-second gameplay, little trailer, I guess, teaser, whatever you want to call it, from PlayStation, and I believe I haven't seen any of these gameplay clips in any of the other Deathloop trailers. I might be wrong about that, and my apologies if I am, but this looks to be new gameplay, and it just showcases some more of the first-person shooting elements and some abilities and some of the locations. Deathloop actually is growing on me a lot and looks like a pretty interesting game, and I can't wait to actually get my hands on this game when it's out. It seems to have an interesting premise, and even the multiplayer aspect seems like it could be interesting as well. I have my eye on Deathloop, and you should too, and if you want to watch this gameplay, you can look for a link to it down in the description below. There really isn't anything new in it, but it is pretty interesting just to see how much variance this game has in terms of its locations and some of the other stuff like that. Like I said, it's a pretty interesting game. I think it's low-key going under people's radar right now for some reason, so if you haven't started paying attention to Deathloop, I highly suggest you do so now. Remember though, it's a Sony timed exclusive, meaning a PlayStation timed exclusive for a short time after launch, but that'll probably be the last Bethesda Sony exclusive of any kind, so if that upsets you, don't worry, I guess. It's probably going to be the last time. Next up, we got a new collection of ZeniMax and thus Bethesda trademarks. Nothing too interesting, just stuff for the already known about Elder Scrolls Online expansion and content, but as you can see here, there are 3 new clothing trademarks, one for Wolfenstein, one for Doom, and one for Rage, and we all know that Doom Eternal is getting yet another DLC expansion of some kind that is currently in development but hasn't really been announced, or nothing about it has really been announced yet. Wolfenstein 3 is also in development and supposedly has been for some time, if you take a Pete Hines statement as confirmation that the game was actually in development or is actually in development, but I think Pete Hines was just saying Wolfenstein 3 will be made at some point in time. I don't think he was saying it is actively in dev, but it will happen at some point. And then of course here's a Rage clothing trademark as well, and like I said, these are for clothing trademarks, so they're not indicative of a new game being in development, but it's interesting to get all these new clothing trademarks filed at the same time. This could just be because they had to eventually file these trademarks anyway, way if they wanted to sell more clothing merchandise for these franchises, or it could be indicative of something coming. Either way, I just thought it was interesting enough to share with you in today's video. I don't want to get too speculative about clothing trademarks. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is an interview I could have sworn I've seen before. However, it's getting posted like it's a new thing in the last few days, so maybe it is new. When I look it up, I can't actually find this interview, so maybe it is a new interview. But community manager Nika Tufnell interviewed Matt Fear of ZeniMax Online Studios about from the very beginnings of the Elder Scrolls Online's development journey all the way up until now with the Elder Scrolls Gates of Oblivion expansion. And this is an interesting read because the Elder Scrolls Online has had so much love and attention poured into it. It has a great community, and it reminds me of Fallout 76 because Fallout 76 wasn't in the best state when it was launched. A lot of people had a lot of bad stuff to say about it way back then, but if you play the game now, it's night and day to how it was. It's a great game, and the Elder Scrolls Online is a great game too. It's in my top 3 best MMORPGs of all time, and if you haven't played the Elder Scrolls Online, I highly suggest you do so. And if you're a die-hard fan of the Elder Scrolls Online, I highly suggest you read this interview because there's a bunch of interesting stuff here, and you can just see how this entire journey went from the very, very beginning. I'll put a link to this interview down in the description below as well, but that's basically everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Like I said, I'm kind of feeling a little under the weather now, even though it's the morning. I just was kind of joking about that mostly. It is the morning, but I kind of feel a little sick. I don't think I slept all that well or something. Hopefully I don't have the rattles or some sort of strange vampiric disease that I got while exploring a cave in Skyrim. But either way, I'm going to end today's video. If you enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on. If you want to help grow the channel and the community, be sure to share the video, share the content, share the channel, get people to subscribe, because the YouTube algorithm really doesn't pay attention to channels underneath 100,000 subscribers. But ever since I've been asking you all to share the content, the channel's been growing a lot faster. So huge thank you, it is highly appreciated. Keep doing what you're doing, and speaking of appreciation, huge shout out to these amazing people for going above and beyond to support the channel and bring you content like this. If you want to get your name added to this list and get a permanent future video shout out here in my channel on every single one of my videos, from this point forward you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. I will be updating this list today after this video, so now is your chance to get your name added to the next list that will be featured in all my videos from this point forward. I update this list every couple of weeks. Like I said, links for all this are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time, because I'm gonna go acquire a cure disease potion.
It just works.